We're back for our second video!
You didn't ask for it, but here we are anyway.
Back with some amazing entertainment.
Sisters behind Hinted Mint Designs, and today we're here to talk to you about one of our absolute most favorite things about running a small business, and that is going to pop up markets. So we absolutely love going to pop-up markets and craft fairs and other types of community events because they allow us to meet all of you, and we get to get out of this living room where we're here right now recording, where we usually do all of our designing and making and assembling and processing of our online orders, and it's great. But we really love getting out in the community and talking to all of you and getting to sell our products in real life.
So this past summer of 2018, we got started in markets because we kind of wanted to expand our reach, like we were saying. And so we started looking up different markets, and we found our first ever market at the Sola Coffee Cafe in Raleigh. And it was just such a fun time. We got to interact with so many customers and other vendors, and we just had a blast, and we kept going there all summer. And then this past Christmas, we expanded to other markets, and we've just been expanding to different markets ever since, and we're just having a blast.
And while we absolutely love doing markets, they are also very hard, and there's a lot of complicated things that go into planning for a market. And so we wanted to put together our top 15 tips for anyone that wants to get started in markets so that y'all can learn a little bit from what we've learned along the way and feel better prepared going into your first market experience.
Yeah,
or even your second or third.
These are the things that we wish we would have known before we went into our markets, because we tried looking for it online and there wasn't a lot of information. So it's here for you now.
So let's get started.
Okay, number one.
Our first tip is to, before you go to a market, before you step foot out of your house, do your research. Here's Hannah's acting out how to do your research, just like that. You want to look up what kinds of markets are in your area to find the right one for you. Are they mostly wedding focused, or are they more community focused? Are they held at a venue where people aren't really coming to shop? They might be coming to get a cup of coffee, but then they'll run into you. Will there be a lot of vendors there, or will it just be you at a table at a shop? Are there multiple people who do your same type of work? You know, for us, we always wonder how many other calligraphers are going to be there to make sure that we bring the right products and we can stand out.
And it's okay if you're at a market where a lot of people are doing similar things to you, as long as you have something that makes you stand out. So we've, made a very specific selection of products that we think differentiates us from any other calligrapher that will be at any event.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's all about just knowing who else is going to be there and what the environment's going to be like, so you can be prepared and pick the right products to bring and really make the most out of the experience, because you don't want to sign up for a market and then realize, oh, this really isn't my audience and I probably should have picked a different one.
And also know ahead of time with your market what the cost is, because some of these markets can be very expensive. Sometimes these will reflect the type of sales that you can expect to make, but it's no guarantee, so you need to know going into it what kind of, cost you're looking at. Next up, tip number 2 is know your audience and your season. So if you're going to a Christmas market, you might want some Christmas cards or other products that people want to give as gifts.
Great idea.
But don't bring those in June. It's not gonna go over too well.
No, people probably aren't shopping for Christmas cards in June, although if you are, good on you for being ahead of the game.
If you know there's gonna be a lot of brides at the event you're going to, like a wedding expo, you're gonna wanna have things that appeal to brides, so examples of wedding signage or invitations, etc. Tip number 3, make a packing list. So I love making packing lists, whether I'm just going for a day trip, going on a vacation, or going to a pop-up market.
This gal loves a good list.
Love. So you want to know what you need to have with you, and this list might not be perfect the first time, because you're going to realize, I wish I had this thing. But you're going to want to make sure that you think of as many things as possible for this market, so that you won't have to scramble to find something. Like one market, we didn't check our packing list and forgot our packaging. So in the middle of the market, I had to go drive to the nearest Walmart to grab some envelopes to package up orders with, which it wound up being fine, but it was kind of an extra issue in our day to deal with.
Right. Markets are already long days and you've got a lot of uncontrollable factors, so this is something you can control very easily. And so this packing list goes beyond just bringing your products. You want to think through your whole setup. What's going to be on your table? Do you get a table? Do you have to bring your own table?
Yeah, how you're going to pack up your products. If you have any ways of customizing products, so we always bring pens, and not just one pen, multiple pens and different varieties of pens so that people can have the product looking exactly how they want to on site. Tip number 4, practice this setup. So you might think, well, I have all my products, I have everything I need. Great, well, will it all fit on your table that you're provided with or that you're bringing? Do you know how it's going to look so that a customer can come up and immediately understand what you're selling and see the product that's going to appeal to them and they don't have to go searching for it? Because with markets, a lot of times it's going to be people walking by, and if they're not drawn in the second they see your table, you might have just lost that customer. So practice that setup and know how to make it look really appealing from the get-go.
And a lot of times that means having some sort of elevation in your table. If everything is, you can have the most beautiful prints in the world, but if they're all lying flat on the table and there's nothing sitting up to draw people's eyes in, you might miss some of your best customers. So that's where practicing and kind of walking around and seeing what your table looks like from a distance can be really helpful. This is also super helpful because on the morning of, you don't have a ton of time to get set up. So if you already know, okay, I'm gonna have my cards on this side, I'm gonna have my prints over here, and I'm gonna have stickers on the bottom, you don't have to spend time fiddling around with all of that as you're setting up. All right, number 5. This is probably one of my favorite tips that we have, and it's be comfy. Ooh. So markets can be a long day. Some of them are only an hour or 2, but some of them are 6 to 8 hours or even longer. That's not even including setup and cleanup time and travel time.
And even the shorter markets, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, market days take a toll. Like even on the markets that we've gone to that are only 2 hours long, between, you know, the stress of setting up and interacting with all the customers, like it's so fun, but you are drained. Like I will go home and take the biggest nap ever. So you want to be as comfortable as you can on that day. We're talking comfy shoes, you know, maybe it's not the day for the stilettos. They may look awesome on you, but no. Yeah. Absolutely not, especially because you're going to be setting things up, moving tables and bags and boxes from your car to your spot. It's not worth it. It's not. That also goes beyond shoes and clothes, but also make sure you have water so that you're not dehydrated throughout the day. Bring some snacks so that you're not going to get hangry. Customers will be able to tell if you are tired or hot or stressed or hungry, and then they're not going to be as likely to interact with you. So you want to do everything you possibly can to alleviate that. Yes, absolutely.
Also going along with comfy, wear something that makes you feel comfortable, not just in physically soft and comfortable. Wear something that you feel like you shine in, because you're going to have to be interacting with a lot of people and people you don't really know. So you want to wear something that makes you feel comfortable and confident. Yeah, as comfy as I am in an extra large t-shirt and running shorts, probably not my pop-up outfit because I don't feel like I sparkle and shine in that, you know? Exactly. So you want to do something that makes you feel like your best you.
Number 6. Have a plan for how you're going to accept payments throughout the day. So some markets are cash money only, which means you're going to need a lot of change. Yes. More than you think. We tried to estimate for our first market how much change to have, and we went for more is better, and we were aligned with how quickly we went through change. You might need to be taking cards, in which case you might need a card reader.
I would say going on with that, if you are using a card reader or an online card processor, make sure that you have a plan for internet connectivity. Is there Wi-Fi available at the venue, or do you need to make sure you have a hotspot ready to go? Make sure you plan for that. So, and in terms of how much cash to bring, you also want to keep in mind how much you're charging for each of your products. So if you've got price points, we've got a few price points that are less than $5. Which are great, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but it also means we have to have a lot of ones. But if all of your products are starting at $20, then you probably don't need that many ones for change because you're not dealing with those price amounts. So just keep all of that in mind when you're planning your strategy for taking payments on the day of.
Number 7. Have a variety of products at various price points and know a selling point for each product. So that was a lot in one tip, so let's unpack that. 1, have a variety of products. So you don't know what your customers are going to be looking for. They might not want cards. We sell a lot of cards, but if they don't want that and we only sell cards, those are customers that we've missed. That's why we have cards, stickers, art prints, and other things available at our market so that people can hopefully find a product that they want, you know? And then variety of price points. If people aren't coming intending to spend a lot of money, or maybe they spent most of their budget at another vendor, totally fine. We support all vendors. But if they've already, you know, spent a lot of money elsewhere, or they didn't come intending to shop because your event is at a coffee shop, it's important to have things that are at a low cost so that someone can spontaneously buy something and not feel like they need to think it over. So our stickers and cards are very cheap, $2 and $3. So people will be like, oh yeah, I'll grab one, no big deal. But also, it's good to have more expensive products so that you can make more of a profit margin. That's good too. And then the last thing is knowing a selling point for each of your products.
Absolutely. So we, as people are coming up and start perusing our products, we'll maybe give them a suggestion. If they start looking at our campus maps, we say, hey, did you know that we also have maps of these 7 other schools? And we found they're really great gifts for anyone who's a recent grad or someone who just got into one of those schools or is just a lifelong fan. And then they start thinking in their head,
who do I know who goes to college?
I do know someone who's about to go to college. Okay, yes, I will get one of those. Thank you very much.
Exactly. So just know what will draw your customer in and hopefully lead them to purchase. Because at the end of the day, markets are great for a lot of things, but you are there to make sales, to grow your business. That's the big reason you're there. Number 8.
Okay, so this one is practice your elevator pitch.
What is that?
Ooh, so an elevator pitch is a very short 30-second, maybe 60-second description of what your business does and why you're there. People.
Wow. Who?
What?
Where?
How? Ooh, I don't know. Teach me. So as people come up to your table, they might just be perusing a card and walking on, but if they're there for more than 10 seconds, you want to be able to talk to them about yourself and why you're there, because then they'll feel like they have more of a connection with you and your business, and also know more about how to engage with your business going forward. So if they just think of you as that vendor that they saw a card at a market one time, they might not think of you. But if you say, hey, we're a full-service calligraphy and stationery business, and we can do hand lettering and watercolor, they think, oh, I actually have this custom project that I've been thinking about getting done. Maybe I'll call those girls up.
It's really helpful and just a good selling point and a good way to engage in conversation, you know?
People like knowing a little bit more about your background too, so people always resonate when we tell them that we're sisters and that we work on our business in Chapel Hill. So any sort of little nuggets that you can give about your business is helpful for making those connections as well. We've gotten a lot of custom order referrals from going to market. So we're not just there to sell cards and sell prints, but we hopefully will connect with people on a deeper level so that they will think of us for bigger projects in the future.
Absolutely. Number 9. Oh, so fine.
So our 9th tip is invite your friends.
Now that means both your real life friends and the people that follow you through your business's social media accounts. So your real life friends, it is so special when our real friends come visit us at markets and just see what we're up to. And sometimes it's hard to explain to your friends when it's a side gig what exactly you do. And so they'll come and they'll see, oh, this is what you've been doing and these things are so cool. And
they actually exist in real life.
Yeah, so it's super fun and it's just a great way to show your friends and family what you've been up to all those hours. And then also invite your social media followers. They are probably looking for a way to connect with you in real life, and what better way than to meet you at a market? And these are your loyal customers already. Why not have them come meet you in person and maybe buy some more products?
We also like to post that we're going to markets on social media because we follow a lot of other vendors in the area, so sometimes they can find out about a market from us and we can find out about a market from them, and we can connect with fellow creative business owners through that as well. So markets overall, great way to interact with people. So make sure you're including your friends, your customers, and your fellow vendors when you're talking about it.
Number 10, arrive early, please, for the love of all that is good. Early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. Let's get that straight.
I mean, really, for a lot of these, you in theory could be late, but you're really just hurting yourself. You're going to miss out on valuable time that you could be using to talk to customers and sell to them. And you're also just going to have a much more stressful day. We like to get up early on market days. We go to Sunrise Biscuit Kitchen, which is right down the street from my house, and we get chicken cheese biscuits, and they are so good and put us in such a good mood to start the day. And then we take our trip to wherever we're going, and then we give ourselves usually a good 45 minutes to an hour to set up.
It doesn't take us that long to set up. I would say unpacking and setting up takes at most 30 minutes for us, but it's so nice to have that time should a hiccup occur that we can fix it, or to just walk around and meet the other vendors before things happen. And not only is it for your own benefit that you arrive early, but also some markets will have a strict time, 10 minutes before doors open to customers, that says your table needs to be ready for inspection, that we can make sure that you're following all of our rules, and that you have paid your final fees if there are any before we open the doors. And if you aren't there, you're done.
Too bad.
Too bad you won't be making sales that day, and potentially any payments that you've made for your fees are down the drain. Yike!
Don't want that. We also like to get there early because it gives us just a little bit of time to relax once we're set up, and before any of the customers get there. We do our secret handshake before every market. Should we do it right now?
If you didn't know, that's the handshake from the Parent Trap. Number 11? No, we don't have an 11.
11.
Bring a pal!
So obviously we have a built-in pal to bring to these markets.
If you have to go to the bathroom or something, you're not leaving your table unmanned. So
Yep.
bring important. Number 12! Talk to people. You're there for that. Talk to customers, talk to other vendors, and see what you can learn from other vendors, and see what ideas customers can give you for future products, or what resonates well with customers.
We've gotten a lot of ideas from future customers in terms of, they say, okay, we like this, but have you ever considered doing something like this? And we're like, huh, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, or just customers, a product will really connect with them, and it's something that we didn't even realize was that special to someone until we had that really special interaction.
Right, this is where we actually get to talk to our customers face to face, and we don't get that opportunity a lot. So we really try to take advantage of it the most. And also, people generally want to buy things from you if they feel like they've made that connection, instead of you just sitting there and you don't talk to them until they make their order.
And talking to other vendors is so beneficial. Do not ever underestimate that resource of that community that you'll have at these markets. Talk to other vendors about which markets are successful for them and which ones have not been so successful. Talk to them about what kind of strategies they're using for the business in general, what products they've been making, what techniques they use to make those products. You know, so many things you can learn. That's what they're there for. You know, we've learned so much from other vendors, and I would hope that we've returned that favor to others.
And listen, let's be honest, we don't really like talking to people we don't know. It's not in our nature. It's not
Stranger danger!
It's not super comfortable for us, but we do it anyway. And honestly, the nerves go away within the first few minutes of doing a pop-up. But even if it's a little bit outside of your comfort zone, go for it, because people there are usually so friendly and so excited to be talking to you that it's so worth it in the end.
It's not like The Bachelor. People aren't saying, I'm not here to make friends. Like, people are there to make friends.
So yeah, talk to people, make a few friends.
Number 13, not unlucky. Retain customers with business cards and a mailing list.
So it's great that we've gotten a lot of new customers through our pop-ups, but we don't want to just interact with them on that one day. We'd like them to keep following us and hopefully buy more products from us in the future. So we always are sure to have a ton of business cards at every single pop-up, and we tuck them in the envelope with every single order we give out, so that when they bring it home, or maybe if they gift it to someone else, our names are right there with it. And then something that we added a little bit later in our pop-ups was a mailing list. So we just use a sheet of paper where they can write down their names and their email, and then we can go ahead and add them to our email list, where we announce when we have new sales or new product launches, and they'll hopefully stay tuned.
So yeah, the business cards are really helpful because, like we said earlier, some people are just not prepared to shop that day, which is totally fine, but then they can grab a card and maybe that evening or later on they'll buy a product from you or contact you about a custom project. And in the mailing list, it's also very helpful to prompt people to sign up for it, because sometimes people won't see it. So we'll say, like, if they ask, oh, you don't have a campus map at this place, that's a bummer, otherwise I'd buy one. We'll say, well, put your name on that list and we'll be sure to contact you once that map is released. Number 14, be engaged. Yee, smile. You're never fully dressed without a smile.
Basically, be friendly. People want to buy stuff from friendly people. Try to keep your phone usage to a minimum. I know it's hard. We have our phones so that we can take a few pictures and post on Insta throughout the day, but otherwise we try to keep that to a minimum so that we can spend as much time as possible talking to our customers. Even just making eye contact with someone and smiling when they're looking at your products helps them feel a little bit more connected to you and what you're doing.
Yeah, saying, hey, how are you? Instead of just glaring at them or looking like, not a good plan.
All right, and here it is, folks. Our last tip.
Number 15. 3 whole hands. Keep track of what sales you're making and take notes from the future. So congrats, you've made it through your market and we're so excited.
We're so proud of you.
But don't let all that knowledge that you've gained throughout the day go down the drain. Be sure as people are making purchases that you're writing down what they bought. And in the earlier markets, we wrote down how they went about paying so we knew how much cash to have in the future. But whatever you need to know about these customers, keep track of, know what you're selling and how you're selling it. And take note, oh, well, I wish you would have had this thing. I wish that I would have been prepared with some information about this. Whatever you need to know for the future that you wish went better this market. It's okay for things to go wrong as long as you grow from them in the future.
Absolutely. So as much as you can take notes as people are buying their products, it helps when you're coming back and doing inventory later and trying to keep track of your sales. Helps you remember, okay, we should bring twice as many cards next time, but we probably don't need to bring every single copy of our prints that we own because they don't sell as well.
Yeah.
And so it just helps you learn for the future so that you can continue to keep getting better and growing at future markets.
So that's that. That's all 15 tips. That wasn't a completely exhaustive list of everything you need to know for markets because there's going to be a lot of variety from market to market. But it's just important to know these basics, and hopefully in the future, if we learn more, we'll be sharing more with you.
In the meantime, if you have any questions, we're super open if you want to reach out to us.
Email, DM, whatever it is, comments down below.
Come visit us at a market maybe if you're in the area.
Whatever.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to you and learn more about maybe something that you've learned from markets. If you have any ideas or suggestions, comment down below. Let us know. We're super excited to learn from you. Yeah. But overall, we would say if you've been thinking about going to a market, do it.
Do it.
Just do it. We have so much fun at them, and we've learned so much about our business through doing them because you can learn so much more by interacting with people. And it's just a great experience.
Yeah, go into it knowing that not all markets are going to be as successful as others, but it's a learning experience, and that's what's important is that you're having a fun time interacting with others.
Yeah, I will say some of our markets have been not as successful financially as we would have hoped, but we've still learned stuff from going to them, and we've gotten to interact with other vendors there, even if we aren't making maybe as many sales as we would like to be. So you definitely have to go in with an open mind, but have fun.
Yeah. So that's it. Peace out, homies.
Peace out.
We'll see you next time. Remember to like this video and subscribe for more stuff.